Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ozarks Sports Report podcast. For today's show, I got some guests with us. I have the Crane Pirates baseball team, and I'm going to pass the mic to the coaches. And coaches, tell us who you are and introduce yourself, and tell us what position you guys coach.
I am Clay Stump, the assistant coach. I'm in charge of hitting and infield.
Colton Vaught, I take care of the outfielders and the base running.
Head coach Brian Harmon, take care of all things these guys, oversee what these guys do, and work on the strategy in the game time.
Okay, and we have a fourth coach with the Crane Pirates, and that is Tucker Matlack. He is the pitchers and catchers coach. All right, our first question is, coaches, what are the fundamentals that you guys teach in baseball? What do you teach your players, the fundamentals of each position that you guys coach?
For me, with hitting, it'd probably be just making sure they see the baseball. And then infield, just making sure that they get down and don't let a ball in between their legs.
As an outfield coach, something that's getting overlooked a lot is not hitting your cutoff. And that is something that I have been implementing more than anything in the outfield, is showing a lot of hitting your cut. Pros don't miss their cuts. There's no reason we should either. I've also implemented the pro step a lot more. The crow hop kind of has died out, and the pro step has come in. Pro steps in the outfield save us so much time. It's so good. So good for all the players, and it really just shows we've shown a lot of improvement right away.
So far, the first week plus a day now, that's been our main focus is fundamentals. You can't do the big things until you do what some people call the little things. I don't use the word little things because to me in baseball nothing's little, but fundamentals are key, and they add up to winning baseball.
The next question is, what are your expectations that you guys set for your players?
My expectation really is just to make sure that they play every game like it's their last, and that no matter if they're seniors or not, that they try hard for those seniors and give their seniors everything that they have to.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm really selfish, and I implement really winning. I haven't changed since I was a player. I think Final Four or bust every time I step on the field, either coaching or playing. I just want to get to state and CO Fallon. That's what it's all about when you play the game.
A big key to me is we have lots of things we expect, but the two main things are be on time and play hard. If you do those things, a lot of other things take care of themselves. If you're running late and you're not focused and not ready to go, and if you're not playing hard, we really have no use for you. We got 21 kids out this year, and someone's not playing hard. Somebody else is going to be there to play hard and step in and take that spot. So all that will lead to what Coach Vaught said, which is winning, and that's always the goal for everybody.
Our next question is, what is the Crane way of coaching that you coach your players? Starting off with the head coach, Coach Brian Harmon.
Kind of goes back to basic fundamentals. If you have the fundamentals, you're going to be successful. As a coach, I'm not only coaching baseball players, I'm coaching young men who will one day be, they'll play baseball only for a short time, but they'll be men the rest of their lives. And, to make them into good citizens and make them productive in society. And, I always love it when guys come back and visit us at practice. We had one do that last week, and it happens every day now because both of these guys sitting right here are my guys that played for me, and I just love getting them involved in coaching as well.
And everything me and Coach Stump right next to me know is from this guy, Coach Harmon. He really set it in before anybody. But also another thing that Daniel Davis, a coach that's at Willard now, an assistant coach, he taught me and Clay and everybody that was under him more than anything was you can control your attitude and effort no matter what. And that burned into my brain. I can come to the field with a good attitude and I can give 100%. That's something nobody else can control. I can take that into my own hands. I can control my attitude and my effort. And that's something I'll always look up to.
Yeah, building off of that was something we tried to implement over the fall was controlling your attitude, your effort, and your concentration. For me, I want to make sure our guys are focused, every day at practice and from the game from first pitch to the last out. So that's.
Our next question is, what are the big words that you guys lecture to bring a win to your clubhouse?
The big words? Was that? Just the big words to me are commitment and focus. If you're committed to your team when you go in, you're going to do what it takes. And if you're focused, you're going to not let the distractions get to you. Nothing worse than, baseball players sometimes are the world's worst. They're going to listen to everybody's advice to try to help them, especially if they're struggling. So you got to have that focus to leave those distractions away. When you're on deck, your job's not to visit with the people on the other side of the screen. Your job is to get your focus on the pitches that are coming up to the plate, and focus on your teammates and what's going on with them, and that's it. So commitment and focus are the two big things that I try to stress.
I don't know a lot of big words, but if I had to put one that means a lot to me, it's hustle. I don't think there's any reason to not hustle on a baseball field. You might run a total of 220 feet in the middle of a game, so I don't think there's any reason you should not give 100% effort at all times. Too many people nowadays think it's too cool to run out a ground ball back to the pitcher, and that's something. I think if you can put pressure on the defense in any way possible, you're in good shape. So I always implement hustle. That's my main one.
Mine would probably be, again, attitude. I just think if they can control themselves with bad calls, or sometimes when they even get mad at us for not putting them in the right position, or they think that we put them in the wrong order in the batting lineup. I just think that you can always control your attitude, and that will go on into the field.
Our next question is, what are the goals? What are your goals that you set for your players to achieve each and every game? Starting off with head coach Brian Harmon.
Obviously, everyone's goal is to make it to the Final Four and win a state championship, but before you can do that, you have to have other goals that you work on, as far as every day coming committed to practice, every day treating it like it is the state championship game. Whatever drill we're working on, even if you think it's mundane and, oh, this is boring. Well, I stress to them sometimes, if they think our drills are boring, then winning must be boring to them. True. Because if you're not willing to put forth the effort, you have to put forth a championship effort in the drills, or you will not get yourself to a championship level.
Coach Harmon really touched on all of it. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm pretty selfish when those kids talk. I mean, I implement it into their head. You want a ring. You want to be the best. You step on the field to be the greatest. I tell kids every day, if you want a ring, you're gonna have to work for it. And you'll hear me yelling that more times than anything, because I mean that's how I thought. That's how me and Coach Clay played, and under Coach Harmon, we thought, if you're not going for a ring, why are you playing? We want to be the best, and I think that's something that we'll always implement, is just going for it all.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that too. One thing that I would really like to do is bring baseball back to Crane like it used to be. I remember back when me and Coach Vaught played, Coach Davis and Coach Harmon did a good job of getting us out in the community, and we've been trying to do that a little bit more, but I think if we can have a better team this spring, that the community will really get behind us.
Next question is, this is for the head coach, Coach Harmon. Who are some key players to watch for in the 2018 spring season?
Well, I will name some individually, but right now we have 21 key players, because we're going into the season. We don't know which of those 21, which 9 are going to be on the field, or 10 if you count the designated hitter. They're all key, and if they're not in the 9 or 10 in the lineup, they are expected to lead from the dugout, lead from wherever they are. If I've got 2 guys competing for one spot, I don't expect them to hope the other guy fails so they can surpass them. I hope they want to push each other to get better every day. But I will name my seniors. All 5 of them will take the mound at some time this year. All 5 of them will play in the infield. Harley Howard will. Our plan right now is for him to be a starting pitcher. He will also be playing first base, batting somewhere in the middle of the lineup. Wyatt Vaught, another starting pitcher, second baseman. He'll, he's been our leadoff man for two seasons, last spring and last fall, and hopefully he can continue his hitting ways in that spot. Colby Smith plays third base. He's also a starting pitcher, and we've moved him around in the lineup a lot over the last few years, just because Colby's able to fit in a lot of different spots. And in the fall, he really thrived in the 5-hole, in the position where you get to drive in some runs. And then that leaves Colton Elder. We're probably converting him to a reliever this spring. That's the plan right now. And position-wise, Colton pretty much plays where whoever's pitching that day, their position. If Harley pitches, he plays first base, and on and on. He moves around. You got to have that versatile type. At small high school, you don't have 10 guys that are just pitchers. You got guys that have to pitch, and they play other positions. And Colton will bat middle of the lineup as well. And then we also have Brent Williams at shortstop, and he'll also be another relief pitcher. He took on that. He'd been a starting pitcher in the past, took on that relief role last fall and really thrived in it. And he batted all over the lineup too. We had him in the 2-hole. We've had him in 5-6. And he just does his thing wherever he is. He just hits. So all 5 of those guys are our seniors, and it's not just about the seniors, but those are the guys that, it could be over any time for them. So they're as key as anybody we have.
All right, our next question is going to be what do you guys expect out of each team in your district coming into the spring season? What do you expect when you come and play an opponent every season, whether it's here at Crane or it's in a different town? What do you expect that opponent to bring to the dinner table against Crane?
I expect them to give us their all. At least, I'd hope that's the way it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I know we strive for that, and I just hope they would do the same.
Very few games off here. None. You could be upset by anybody at any time in the state of Missouri. And Southwest Missouri keeps it very, very, very competitive. Coach Harmon always gives us a good schedule too, but he sets us up to be in the right position when district time comes, that we are perfectly prepared. So, they'll get our best, so we always expect their best no matter what.
The big key for me is, some teams may say, I get tired of seeing everybody's number one pitcher. We always see their best. Well, to me, that's a compliment to our program. If we're not seeing their best, then they don't have any respect for us, and we've really got to reevaluate ourselves. So, everybody we play, we've got I'll put the district we're in up against any Class 2 district in the state. New Covenant will have great success. Galena's been successful the last few years. Billings is getting better and better every year. Blue Eye, challenged us really tough in the fall. Marionville is always tough. So everybody in our district, it's just it's loaded. When it's time to seed, there'll be 6 of us that all would like to see the number 1 seed, and there'll be 6 of us that could be knocked off in the first round, no matter how good we are.
Next question is, what is the expectation that you guys bring to your kids off the field and on the field, both on the field and in the classroom?
Off the field, I just want them to be leaders wherever they're at. I want them to set an example that the Crane baseball kids will be the best in the classroom and be the best in the hallways, no matter where they're at off the field. They represent us very well.
As an athlete, I preach to our guys, you're always under a spotlight. It's like you're under a microscope. Anything you do is going to be magnified by about 10 because you're in the community eye. I just tell them, like Davis told me, attitude and effort is going to bail you out of anything. 100% effort, and your best attitude will always it'll get you out of more problems than you believe. And that's what I just implement to our kids every single day.
Great answers by those 2 guys. I want to focus on the classroom thing mostly. 6 years in a row now, we have had an academic all-state team, meaning that we were one of the top teams in the state grade point average-wise. And 2 of the last 3 years, we have been the top team in the state grade point average-wise in Class 2. And last year, not only in Class 2, we were the top GPA in the state regardless of class size. So that's something we stress. These kids don't get uniforms until their grades are to a certain standard. They may be eligible as far as Misha says and as far as our school says, but they're not going to get their uniform until they get those grades to where they need to be. And it's a bigger thing than the baseball field. They wear that name Crane or Pirates across their chest. Wherever they go, whether it says that on their chest or not, that's who they are and who they are representing. Mm-hmm. So whether we stop and eat somewhere after a game or whatever we do, they are representing Crane. And that's what's important to me, and that's what I'm hoping is becoming important to them as well.
Our next question is for you guys, coaches. What is the big thing that's going to rise your players to the top? What do you want to see if you want your players to be the best overall? Not arrogancy-wise, but just the best overall.
I just want to see drive out of our guys. I want to see that no matter if it's raining, no matter if it's 40 degrees, 80 degrees, that they're willing to give max effort every single day and that they're just strong-willed. That's all I want to see.
Man, I hate to go back to it again, but attitude and effort. I just can't stress those 2 words enough. It's the biggest thing in baseball. Somebody's mental state. If their attitude and effort is going right and it's infectious, that positive attitude will spread from one side of the dugout to the other. And effort-wise, they'll all start putting forth. If they see their best player giving 100% effort, I guarantee you everybody down the lineup is giving 100% effort too. And that spreads to the coaches. That spreads to the fans. If they know you got a pure passion for the game, it's going to come out. Attitude and effort. Attitude and effort.
Key word I want to use here is toughness. We spent the last hour and a half today of practice out on the elementary school playground focusing on toughness. people maybe drive by or we're here to pick up their kids and they're looking out there and we're pulling a sled with weights on it. We're doing farmer's carry with weights on it. We're jumping over hurdles. We're running. We're throwing a medicine ball around. They're probably thinking, what in the world does this have to do with baseball? Well, it has a lot to do with baseball because it has to do with how tough you are. If you're tough and you made a great time on the course we put them through today, then maybe when it's the 7th inning and the opponents have the winning run on third base, and we're all going to be tough enough that we're going to either make that pitch, make that play, and then when it becomes our turn at bat, we're going to be tough enough to overcome whatever we can. So toughness is huge. We are stressing that with our kids, and every one of them today that went through that course, they showed some toughness.
And the next question is going to be, what is going to be the initial outcome? What are you guys going to be preaching out of the Crane Pirates Baseball Bible that is going to provide a good pitching game and a lot of scoring runs in the game? What's going to be the big Bible verse out of the Crane Pirates Baseball Bible?
For me, when it comes to hitting, it'll probably just be seeing the baseball and never striking out looking. Putting the baseball in play as much as possible and just being a tough out every single time you get up to the bat. Infield-wise, I'm just going to stress to stay in front of the baseball and make sure nothing gets to the, behind us or even to the side of us. I want everything in front of us and making easy outs.
As controlling the base running part of it, I always don't overcomplicate the game. I just like getting guys in scoring position because at the end of the day, you just got to have more runs than the other team. I like stealing a lot. I like getting guys in scoring position so it's easy for those batters to do their job. They'll have a good mind if they know somebody out there is trying to score for them. Somebody on second is willing to put in that 180 feet to get to the home plate for them no matter what. We've worked on cutting the bases. We've worked on all of it, and we're ready to produce some runs now.
The big key to me is, the biggest key is always tradition. We have a great tradition here, but the big key to me is anytime we finish a game and the other coach says, man, your kids just keep fighting, they don't quit. Whether we came from behind to win a game or we held on to a lead that we had to win a game, or even, we came up just short, but we fought till the end. That we want to be fighters. That comes back to the toughness we talked about. But it's just, we just want to be known as that team that nobody feels like they've got the game in control if we still have an at bat to come up. Last spring we lost some games where we had the tying run at the plate or on base, and that's the hump we want to get over this year, of making that tough play to get over the hump, and hopefully not be that team that doesn't quit anymore, but be that team that just finishes what they need to do and doesn't lose.
Mm-hmm. Our next question is to everybody. This is for the fans. The fans, whether you're going to Crane for the game or you're going to another town to see Crane play on the road, what are your words to say to the fans?
If I had to say anything to the fans, keep it respectful. Always keep it respectful. But I want y'all to be passionate. That's what I care about. Not taking anything away from the game. Just be passionate. Love seeing passion in the stands.
My biggest thing I want to see out of the fans is to be there and support the team, not be there to support a few of the players on the team, but be there to support the whole team. Good. And, as far as when you think of fans, you do think of parents. As parents, what I ask for you is to make sure your kid is not necessarily the best player he can be. Yes, we want that, but he needs to be the best teammate he can be. If he's not a great teammate, he's not as valuable to us as he would be if he's just in it for himself.
Next question this is to the outfield coach of the Crane Pirates, Colton Vaught. And he coaches actually the junior high team at Crane High School. Coach Vaught, what do you intend to persuade your team, and what do you preach to your junior high team?
Well, when Coach Harmon offered me the opportunity to coach junior high, I didn't even hesitate. That was a no-brainer for me because that's around the junior high age is when I fell in love with baseball. And just all around. That's when I realized I loved the game. Everything about it, the smell of the grass, going out there and making a play, anything about it. So when Coach Harmon offered me the position to help other kids my age when I fall in love with the game, it was easy. I just told them, hey, be passionate. Before you want to play the game, you're going to have to love the game. So I just have them go out there and enjoy the game every single minute.
Final question to Coach Brian Harmon. This is about the social media. And what would you say for your fans if you want to stay up to date with the Crane Pirates on and off the field?
As far as social media goes, we have the Twitter account for myself, which is Crane_coach, and that I send out games coming up, updates from games. We have a great sponsorship from Porter Supermarket. They sponsor the player of the game for us every night. So when that happens, we put that on our social media. Just a great way to follow us and keep up when their schedule changes, which you know how it is in the spring, especially when there's a lot of rain. There's a lot of rainouts and makeups and reschedules. So they can follow that. And Coach Stump does a great job with the Crane Baseball Facebook page. I'm not a Facebook guy, but he takes care of that. And, just great way to follow us. And then the Ozarks Sports Report, who is hosting the show that we have. Adam is also the audio voice of the Pirates. He does all of our home games on the Crane Community Access YouTube channel. And hopefully we're going to get some road games in as well. And maybe we'll get some sponsors out there to keep that going and maybe compensate Adam for some of his time and efforts. But we wanted to just have everybody come out and follow us. And, we want them to come to the games, but if they can't be at the games, they can find out about the games through our social media.
All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show with the coaches of the Crane Pirates. For a schedule update on the Crane Pirates' first game, that will be on Friday, March 16th at 5:30 p.m. The Pirates will be taking on the Charleston Blue Jays. If you don't know where Charleston, Missouri is, that is in southeastern Missouri, just past Sikeston, Missouri on Interstate 57. Be sure to come out to Crane, Missouri in Stone County to watch the Crane Pirates and the Charleston Blue Jays. And if you want to stay connected with us away from the show, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon where you can be notified as we post our shows on YouTube. And be sure to check out our website. Our website is ozarksportsreport.wixsite.com/ozarksportsreport. So once again, we want to say thank you all for joining us for today, and we hope to see you guys in the next show. Have a good day, everybody.